that, it's time for the final update from our global market wrap this Friday morning. Mixed cues from Europe as well, with the French CAC up 15 points, the German DAX over 90 points higher, the British FTSE closing 14 points lower, S&P Global's final manufacturing PMI or the manufacturing index for the Eurozone rose to 47.1 in November from 46.4 in October. So that's the data which hinted that, yes, there is some downturn that we are seeing, and it is slowing off the region's factory activity downturn. Now, if we talk about the British factory activity, which edged up to 46.5 in November from a 2.5-year low of 46.2 hit in October. However, the outlook remains bleak, with confidence among British manufacturers falling to its lowest level since April 2020. Okay, those are the updates coming in from the global markets, but how will these cues impact our own markets? We have a research team joining in to tell you just that. The market setup, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you, and it's a Friday. So Vivek, let me come across to you first. What is the market setup looking like today?
Well, good morning. What we are looking at in today's trading session is the fact that we're actually getting very mixed, subdued cues as far as global indices are concerned. Like you mentioned, most of the US markets and mixed, and in fact, even European markets and mixed without giving any clear direction. Some important data expected as far as the US markets are concerned as well. But coming closer to the commodity markets, gold prices actually shot up significantly yesterday, up almost 2% in yesterday's trading session, and this was on the back of the fact that the risk-on rally continued as the dollar index continued its decline. Crude prices also gained in yesterday's trading session. This was on the back of the fact that crude supplies continue to tighten, and also there are hopes building as far as the crude market is concerned that China demand could come back as the COVID restrictions ease over there. But coming closer to the Indian markets yesterday did see a bit of a cool off from the record highs. We continue to trade near record highs, but in yesterday's trading session we did see that the mid cap and the broader end of the markets continued to outperform. Some important events to watch out for today: Inox Wind as well as Inox Green Energy. Remember, Inox Green Energy is recently listed, so they'll be coming out with their results. Unipart's IPO from the primary market has seen a healthy subscription, over 2 times subscribed. And also, when you're talking about some of the important events to keep an eye out for, yesterday mid-cap IT was one that continued to outperform, and a lot of stocks there saw a significant surge in yesterday's trading session, so that will be one pocket to keep an eye out for. Asian markets are mixed, and SGX Nifty is indicating a minor gap down open for the Indian markets.
Okay, all right, Vivek, thank you so much for that. So a minor downtick for Indian markets today, but Surbhi is joining us now. She'll talk about all the stocks that are in focus today. Surbhi?
Hi, thanks for that. A couple of stocks on my radar this morning. Few auto names on the back of their monthly sales numbers. The first one is Hero MotoCorp, where the total sales were up 12% at 3.9 lakh units, but the exports were down 46% on a year-on-year basis. Next is Eicher Motors, where the total sales were up 37% at 70,766 units. Next is NMDC, where the production for the month was at 3.61 metric tons and sales were at 3.04 metric tons. Also, the government is looking to exit NMDC's Naganar steel plant through strategic sale. It invites to sell 51% stake, while 10% will be offered to NMDC. Next is manganese ore, where the production for the month was 1.2 lakh tons, which was up 60% on a month-on-month basis, and sales were up 82% on a month-on-month basis. PB Fintech sources say that the SoftBank is looking to offload half of its stake through a block deal today. And lastly, Yes Bank, where RBI approves Carlyle and Advin's stake sale in the bank.
Okay, Surbhi, thank you so much for that. All those stocks in focus today. Finally, let me go across to Manglam, joining in with all the cues from the F&O space this morning. Hey, Manglam.
Good morning. So, the SGX Nifty, to start things off, is indicating that we may be on a bit of a back foot, but that should be good primarily because all dips are being bought into our markets. So, the last 8 trading sessions, the Nifty is, closed in the green, and there is strong momentum. However, it'll be important to see what happens in today's trading session, primarily because the FIIs yesterday ended up selling about 1,600 crores in cash market. The DIIs went up and bought around 2,700 odd crores. In yesterday's trading session, the market ended off highs primarily because of the weekly options expiry. Remember, yesterday afternoon we were talking about how there was a lot of action at the 18,850 call, and for a premium of 30 rupees, there could be resistance at 18,880, and yesterday's high was 18,878, so the market turned from there itself. FIs in the index futures unwound about 7,100 longs, also unwound around 1,350 shorts, but despite that, their long exposure still remains unchanged at around 75% mark. The good part, however, is now that the weekly options expiry is behind us, the put-call ratio, which was heated at around 1.55, has now come down to 1.26. In terms of options which are active for next week, a lot of call writers are pretty active at the 18,900 and the 19,000 mark itself for a premium of anywhere between 100 to 50 odd rupees. And at the lower levels, we are seeing a lot of put writing at 18,800 as well as 18,700. So what does this all mean for the next 1 week? Well, options for the next week do indicate that there could be congestion around that 18,900 to 19,000 mark, whereas at the same time, we are likely to see some support around 18,700 to 18,750 odd marks. So those are what the levels are indicating. For today, it looks like it will be a lot more stock-specific day because the mid-cap index is still not hit a record high. So that is something that we'll be watching out for. Individual stocks will be more in focus than the index.